Well, India has surpassed France to become the top Scotch whisky market for Chivas Brothers by volume. Now, the UK-based Scotch whisky maker is now looking at bringing and creating new brands for India. Shilpa Ranipeta travelled to Scotland at the company's invitation to find out more. Take a look.
Scotland may be the heart and home of Scotch whisky, but the highest volumes of this spirit come from India. Driven by premiumization, growing penetration and widening of the consumer's repertoire, alcohol beverage players across the world like Chivas Brothers, maker of brands like Glenlivet, Chivas Regal and Ballantine's, are betting big on the Indian market.
97% is IMFL and Scotch is only 3%. So I think the potential is huge to keep on growing as well on the Indian market. We'll bring new brands to the Indian market, and we're particularly looking at new single malt brand. And the second thing that we are doing as well is to bring brand extension to the Indian market, either existing in the world or done for India and made for India and doing for India and for the world.
India is a key market not just for Chivas, but its parent company Pernod Ricard as well, as the third largest market in terms of top line. The company is now looking at expanding its portfolio in the Indian market, not just for whisky, but for white spirits as well.
We've seen a growth trajectory coming in, a double-digit growth over the past few years. We have already crossed the levels that we were at pre-COVID. And so for us, it's extremely important that we are investing into India as a market, not just in terms of the product portfolio that we are bringing in, but also capital expenditure that we are doing in India. Whiskies will continue to be a core part of our portfolio. That's the way the industry is also cut up in India. The last year has been a solid growth on our gin portfolio. We are seeing a similar trend on tequila that we saw on gin a couple of years back. And so we are very bullish about this category too.
But India operations haven't been without challenges for Pernod Ricard, from coming under ED lens to Delhi rejecting its application to renew sale license. India's 150% tariff on imported whisky has been a key sticking point for stalling the free trade agreement with UK. India is unwilling to relent to UK's demand to gradually cut the tariff as things stand.
We are very strong supporters of the free trade agreement because we think that it will be a win-win both for UK and for India in terms of business. And today, you know, there is not an equal play field between India and the UK, because when Scotch whisky is exported into India, there is a 150% tariff. But when Indian whiskies are imported to the UK, there is a 0% tariff.
Despite the regulatory challenges that the company has been facing in the country, Pernod Ricard India says that it continues to remain invested in the Indian market and is looking at not just making and innovating more in terms of the IMFL segment, but is also looking to bring more and more of its global brands to the Indian market. In Keith in Scotland, Shilpa Ranipeta.
But on that note, it's a wrap on this edition of India Business Hour. Thank you so much for watching. News and updates continue right here on CNBC-TV18.